This is no good. We have run into technical difficulties.
Okay, I got it fixed.
All right.
Thanks, Harry.
There we go.
Do we have the sound drop from Home Alone of Marv going, Harry? We need to get that. Is that
I know what you're trying to filibuster here because you don't know if your guy's starting on May 10th or not.
I'm still going to stick with it, though I feel like a qualified, we would have had the news by now. This would have, just in past years, struck me as like a late Sunday night news leak just for all the Crowleys and the Dickersons of the world to lick their chops on Monday morning and get the ball rolling and try to build some momentum towards Friday. The fact that that hasn't happened gives me a little pause, but then the more I dig into it, I think you want him pitching twice against the National League Central. The Pirates, after this Cubs series this coming weekend, they go on the road for 6 games. I don't think you want him debuting on the road, even though it would be against the Brewers or the Cubs. Are you going to wait until May 21st when they return back home? Boy, that's a long time. Because I think we can all agree that this debut's got to come at home.
Yes.
For obvious business reasons. And do you want him debuting in the middle of the week against the San Francisco Giants? Probably not. Then are you going to wait until the 24th, 25th, or 26th against Atlanta?
I don't want him pitching against Atlanta for his first time.
Right, and that's late May. That's a long, long time.
So
now.
what? We'd be thinking 2 or 3 more starts for AAA then.
Man, that's a lot.
He did get the send-off by the announcers on the broadcast yesterday. He gave the tip of the cap. Livy Dunn is Instagramming the number 30 Skenes jersey. Greg Brown did his best to not put his name behind it on the broadcast, but he did say something to the effect of, well, a lot of people seem to think that Paul Skenes is going to be coming up. I don't know, man. There just seems to be a lot of smoke. I will tell you, if we don't know by tomorrow at this time, or if they haven't announced it by tomorrow at this time, I don't think it's going to be Friday.
They could be looking at extended weather forecasts. I know I'm really just grasping at straws here, just to see if it's going to rain Friday or Saturday.
It looks okay. I've been checking the app here.
Yeah, but, things can change in Pittsburgh. And, yeah, Livy Dunn. What is Livy Dunn going to Indianapolis for this time of year, huh? She's there to pack up the apartment.
That's right.
She's there. If Skenes winds up going with the team, they're going to Toledo. They have an off day today. They go to Toledo. Do you think it's her job to stay back, pack up the apartment, drive, make the traverse down Interstate 70 and get to Pittsburgh? I'll meet you at Toledo, and we'll have breakfast at, I don't know,
Tiffany's.
Do
you think the way he pitched matters at all? Like, it was on 4 days rest, and he wasn't his typical dominant Paul Skenes self. He gave up a home run, right?
Yeah, maybe they see how he responds and how do you feel afterwards. Today could be that day, and, you do the whole recovery thing, and that may have something to do with it. But no, from a results perspective, I think they have a pretty good idea what they've got. And I've maintained that this isn't performance-based, or he's ready for the big leagues from a skill perspective. I almost thought about bringing a big box here with me just so we can all check it off.
Some stuff.
Hey, guys, I got a box. So he's checked all the boxes outside of just the recovery here, and this is just a medical thing.
I asked Neil this earlier. What's your expectations? Like, initial expectations? Like, so he did say he is on your date May 10th on Friday, and he does get to start. What do you expect out of him? Is your expectations high? Or are they in the middle? Are they low?
I think it's not going to be Jared Jones. So if somebody is trying to connect the dots and say that, well, Jared Jones is doing this and Paul Skenes is supposedly better than Jared Jones, and, well, we can realistically believe that Skenes is going to be Jones, I don't think it works that way, because Jones is, in some cases, better, but Skenes is a little bit of a different pitcher that, his pitch counts can get higher. I'm not sure he attacks the strike zone quite like Jones does. So it's not those results, Doran. If that's like the top of the equation, it's probably somewhere between Keller and Jones. I think he's immediately going to slot into, from a results perspective, your number 2 guy.
How about, Garrett Cole, when he came up, 3.22 ERA, 119 innings, 100 strikeouts.
Yep.
Somewhere like that?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. I think so. And assuming,
I'll take it.
Yeah. And listen, he may be a high pitch count guy. That might be an issue. Efficiency, we could be in situations where it's a third inning and he's at like 65 pitches, And then, you see Skenes here 4 2/3, 5 1/3. I don't see him doing what Jones is doing routinely and easily, getting 6th, 7th, maybe even flirting with the 8th inning. I don't think he's that guy.
Who do you bump out then?
I would go. I heard you guys talking about Falter this morning. I think that's logical. The prospect of a 6-man, I don't think is an obscene thought because you've got a lot of guys that you've got to protect. However, how do you arrange the deck chairs to also accommodate somebody like Martin Perez and Mitch Keller? Because those two guys are still important, especially Keller. You got $77 million into him. And with some off days, I think you might be able to shuck and jive a modified 6-man rotation. So maybe the answer is nobody, but if it's going to be a traditional 5-man rotation, I think Falter is the odd guy out, though maybe depending on what Priester does, and he shows you coming up on Tuesday against the Angels, that could play a factor.
Last thing here for you, Dan, not on Skenes' watch, but this is just a prediction. Jared Jones going to throw a no-hitter this year if they let him go deep enough. I mean, it's going to, twice we've almost seen it.
I mean, yeah, he's got perfect game stuff.
Oh, my God.
On every given night. I mean, that, especially no-hitters are thrown with relative ease these days. It's, I mean, if there's any sort of bet on it, I don't bet or don't know what the odds would be, but I would, if something is out there, I would put money on it.
Against St. Louis, I'm going to say. I'll throw a team out there against St. Louis. How about that?
You know what he might actually have an opportunity to challenge is 20 strikeouts.
Man.
In a game. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Has anyone done it since Kerry Wood? Am I forgetting people?
Randy Johnson, I think, didn't he?
Okay.
I think Randy Johnson did it.
Well, now I'm going to Google it.
So, yeah, I mean, he's got sublime stuff, and he is.
Roger Clemens in 86, Kerry Wood 98, Randy Johnson. Max Scherzer had 19.
Did he?
Yeah.
Was that against the Pirates?
I'm on it.
I think. And
I got to Google further now.
I think he almost had a couple of big milestones against Pittsburgh. There was maybe a no-hitter, and then, of course, the top of the perfect game where Lips dropped the elbow.
That was a great moment.
Just a thing of legend.
Scherzer did it against the Tigers.
Okay.
Yeah. And Randy Johnson against the Reds in 2001. Dan, this was fun. I hope you're right. We were texting.
Yes.
I said we came to an agreement that if he's up on May 10th, I got to get you a steak on a stone.
That's true.
So
he doesn't pay up his bet, so
we'll all go.
Oof.
We'll all go.
And we'll be paying.
What does that mean, though? I mean,
we'll pay for it.
No. We'll all go. I'll pay for Dan's. You guys pay for yourselves.
He's not going to pay for yours.
So I got to buy the steak. He's going to buy the stone.
Correct.
Right. That's how.
I'll just warm up the stone.
He's going to be stoned.
Well, of that there was no doubt.